What is up, my friends? I hope you guys had a great weekend. I know I had a great weekend. It was my birthday. Me and the missus went out to eat some dinner. And then we got to check out the movie that we're about to talk about, LongLegs. Man, what a cinematic adventure that was. But anyway, I hope you guys, like I said, having a great day. You're excelling at whatever you do in life, and I'm glad that you stopped in to talk about some movies with me. Like I said, today we're going to be talking about LongLegs from 2024, directed by Osgood Perkins. Now, let's start by saying I'm not going to be talking a lot about the movie. I'm going to be talking more about the philosophy of the movie, because if I talked about the movie, it would ruin it for you. I don't want to say too much. I don't want to give too much away, because the less you know going in, the better the film is, okay? I know there's been a few people that have not liked it. There have been a few people that have loved it. And, but I think that's what the director was going for, was a divisiveness in the viewing. I think that, some people maybe didn't understand, or they didn't really follow up on what they watched. They watched the film at face value. They didn't really dive into the psychology of the film, and I think that's probably why they didn't like it that much. I, on the other hand, am one of those people that when I watch a weird, crazy movie like that, I'm always going on the internet and YouTube, places like that, and finding out, what other people thought the director was trying to achieve, finding out what the director himself was saying about the film he was making, and things like that. And once I really dove into what Osgood Perkins was trying to accomplish with the film, I was like, that makes total sense. Everything came together clear as day for me. Excuse me, I got a little tickle in my throat there. But, so anyway, LongLegs is, at face value, it's a horror movie. It's a psychological thriller. But you look at it and you think it's about a serial killer, which it is. But it's more about, like, ritualistic sacrifice. It goes from serial killer hunt like Silence of the Lambs or Seven to supernatural film, kind of like Fallen with Denzel and John Goodman. It goes into that kind of in the middle of the second act and on into the third act and the finale. And I thought that was excellent, because it had me with the serial killer angle. I was there. I was focused, right? I was in the film, completely engaged. And then they hit me with that switch, and I'm like, okay. But it's not like it's a real twist in the film, because even in the previews, you can tell that there's some crazy supernatural stuff going on. But they lead you in with that first bit of, it's a serial killer movie, it's a psychological thriller, and then they hit you with some different stuff, and you're like, whoa, blow my mind, right? And so I don't want to talk too much more about that, because even talking about that feels like I've given away too much. Well, let's talk about Osgood Perkins. Osgood Perkins is the son of Anthony Perkins, the star of Psycho. He was Norman Bates, mother. So that's the director. But he had a very tumultuous childhood. Excuse me, I have to take a drink here. Had to wet the whistle, if you will. So anyway, he had a tumultuous childhood. Here's some things I didn't know. I didn't know that Anthony Perkins was secretly gay and died of HIV or AIDS. I did not know that. And so he says, Osgood Perkins says that this movie is about secrets and secrets being kept. And I'm like, oh, that makes sense, He says with his childhood, the way that he was brought up and things like that, some things they didn't talk about. And sometimes his parents would tell him lies just to keep him from being traumatized by things. And he was like, he said himself, he would have rather, he didn't want the safety of lies, kind of thing. And so when you look at the film in that aspect where he's, talking about lies and secrets and stuff like that, it makes sense because there's a lot of secrets being kept in this movie. And, and then not only did his father pass away from AIDS, and he was, again, secretly gay. I did not know that. Then again, haven't done any research on Anthony Perkins ever. So, but then his mother died. She was also an actress. She died in the 9/11 attacks. Once again, whoa, blew my mind. So I was like, no wonder he made a movie like this. He's had so much loss in his life, and just the things that he expresses in this film. Because once you get into kind of his psychology and the things that he was trying to explore in the film, you're like, wow, it all makes sense now. And then let's talk about some of the acting. Nicolas Cage, one of the best performances of his career, if I'm being completely honest. One of the best. He is psychotic. He's funny. He's disturbing. He's unsettling. He's everything that you want in a movie bad guy, right? Especially in this type of movie. He's everything you could want. And we have Micah Monroe. This girl, she's good. Like, I'd like to see her in a film where she can explore more of her range, because she kills it in this with her solemnness, When you first see her, there's something up with her. You know it. So, I'm going to take one more drink. I ran out of fluids, guys. I got the cotton mouth bad, man. I guess it's my meds or whatever, but man. Anyway, so Micah Monroe, she's really good. She has this solemn, dour expression the whole time. She's kind of awkward. Sometimes you think she may be a little autistic, or there's something mentally not right with her, but she's an excellent detective, right? And then later on you find out that the reason she's that good is because things have been done in her past. Like, it's just, the film has so many complex layers, and it's so just, you really got to watch it more than once to understand everything. And I watched it once, and as soon as I was done with it, and I said, well, I got to get online and see what other people are saying. I got to see what the director has said about this thing. And again, it's a crazy, wild ride, guys. And Nicolas Cage is the star of the show. We don't get him but a few times in the movie, but he is an excellent villain, psychotic bad guy. He's excellent, right? And his backstory, they don't really tell you a whole lot about it, but from what the director said, his backstory is he's an ex-glam rocker back in the 70s, whatever it is, and he's an ex Led Zeppelin kind of lead singer guy, but he was obsessed with his looks, and he went and got plastic surgery, and the plastic surgery made him look the way he looks in the film, and it's just, he looks wild, man. Like, he looks crazy, but that's when it kind of sort of his backstory. He went crazy after that, and but yeah, Nicolas Cage, probably second best performance of his acting career. He was truly insane. Like, he was unsettling. A lot of people were like, this movie wasn't really scary, and a lot of people, I think, are not. Everybody thinks that horror has to come from jump scares, has to come at you. There has to be something, because that's how we were conditioned. But horror can be in your mind. It can be just a feeling, because, let's face it, horror is fear. And fear is a combination of a bunch of unknown stuff that we can't comprehend. And to me, when I'm watching LongLegs and I'm seeing Nicolas Cage on screen, it's almost like the uncanny valley. It's like, is he real? Is he not real? It's super, super scary to see him on screen and just get that vibe from him. The whole film is a vibe to me. That's why it was so unsettling. That's why it made me think afterwards. All that is because I did not feel right watching it. I didn't feel comfortable. I was not, You know, I was waiting for the next thing, the next traumatizing, the next horrific thing to happen, and it was full of those. Full of those moments. They may have not have been jump scares, but there was a ton of horror in this film. Anyway, guys, LongLegs is getting 5 stars for me. It was a fantastic, great horror movie. Go see it in the theater. Go see it multiple times in the theater. Experience the horror, you know what I mean? Take it in, baby, and love it. And that's it, man. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you liked the review. If you did, like and subscribe, guys. Click the bell for notifications so you will see my beautiful face talking to you about movies. And guys, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace out, and God bless you, my friends. I'm going to keep making them as long as you keep watching them. Adios.